Majestic sound.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Toby D, and you have now tuned in to my Christian audio podcast, Faith Football Fans. Now, there's a gentleman that I didn't get to talk about that I want to talk about right now, and his name is Mr. Jerome Henderson, who comes over from the Cowboys as their secondary coach and is now the new defensive passing game coordinator. Now, I know I'm a few months behind about this, but this guy intrigues me, and therefore I would like to talk about a little bit about his history and what I know right now about him. Now, this guy is very impressive for me. Anytime when you come from producing and being part of a top 5 unit in the Cowboys secondary, when your two outside cornerbacks produce 0 ints, that is impressive in my eyes. This guy knows how to coach guys up and get the most out of them. Now, I think it's very disappointing about Morris Claiborne, and I think he was a top 6 pick in 2012. He hasn't quite, or hasn't become the player that people thought he was going to be coming out of LSU, like the Honey Badger, Mr. Matthew Tyrann Matthew. But it is what it is, or Patrick Peterson for that matter. But he did do what he needed to do while Jerome Henderson was there. Here's a guy that comes here to the Falcons now, and this is a guy that, like Dan Quinn says, has a proven ability to develop players. And as I started digging a little bit into this gentleman, I recognized that him and Dan Quinn have crossed paths. So this is someone that Dan Quinn is very familiar with from their days being with the New York Jets when Dan Quinn was a defensive line coach in 2007 and 2008. This guy served as the defensive backs coach and, get this, the director of player development. And it just so happens that while he was there, he was very instrumental in the development of Darrell Revis. Now, anyone who has been involved with Darrell Revis in any fashion, to me, come on over to the Falcons, because that means this guy can spot talent and get it out of them. And when we have a young guy named Desmond Trufant here, a guy that is starting to come into his own, had a pretty decent season last season. Now, of course, I would like to see him come up on his INT numbers, but that will come because he started doing that in 2014. And unfortunately, what happened in that situation, coaches change. You're learning a new way of how to defend guys, new techniques, and it changes everything. But nonetheless, now this guy can take on an even better role. And I think with Jerome Henderson and Marquand Manuel, who is a secondary coach / defensive assistant coach here, they're going to be able to get the most out of this unit, especially with Robert Alford moving into the nickel spot in nickel situations. Still will play on the outside in the base package of the 4-3 under Falcons defense. But I think now you got Keanu Neal and Ricardo Allen. You have much better talent here than you have with the Cowboys. And if he was able to do that with the Cowboys, just imagine what he's going to do with the talent that we have here right now. Of course, we're going to need someone to take over for Jalen Collins, who is serving a 4-game suspension once the season starts. I got my eye on Akeem King. I would also like to see how the guy who they made a cornerback, CJ Goodwin, fares out from being a wide receiver for the Falcons. I think this guy, Jerome Henderson, is going to be a great asset to us in knowing who to put out there in certain situations to be able to defend and help take away the comfortable reads of the quarterback so they can't just get the ball out of their hands quickly, which in turn should do, like Dan Quinn said, with tighter coverage, help the pass rush up front. Now, that's all I have right now about Jerome Henderson. I'll see you later. My name is Toby D. Faith Football Fans. Peace. I'm out.